R&B diva, Sheena Easton. She's up next. Let's talk. I know I said R&B diva. Let's talk. What's up, everybody? Welcome back over here to Peppy's Point of View, and I'm yours truly. It's me. I'm Peppy. Welcome back. Let's get right into it. We're talking about the making of an R&B diva. And Sheena Easton, yes, she has fallen into this category, and we need to talk. We really and truly need to talk. So I'm going to need you to call a couple of people up because we have to talk to these people. So we're going to call a couple of people up. Well, not a couple, maybe a few. We need to get Babyface on the phone. Call him up. Get him on the phone. Get L.A. Reid. Call him up. Get him on the phone. My favorite R&B diva, singer, songwriter, and producer, A'ngela Winbush. Get her on the phone. Call him up. We have to talk. I have to talk to him. So call him up. Well, Charlie, this is not clout chasing. As I said, you guys won't talk to me, so I'm telling y'all, call them up. Oh, gosh. Oh, I got to talk to him about this. The making of an R&B diva. Child, I don't know where to begin with this, but I'm going to tell you, ooh, Lord, it's not funny. It's interesting. And I don't know where to begin. The reason why I mentioned the producers I mentioned, they are the producers who are responsible for the Sheena Easton album. Yeah, Sheena Easton. They're responsible for her album. Oh my gosh. Listen here, let me tell y'all something. And I kid you not. That album, Sheena Easton's The Lover in Me album, I am here to tell you that album is hot. All right, it is smoking. It is popping. Like, what is it? It's, you know what? It's a bop, a banger, whatever you want to call it. That album is all of that and then some. It really is. And I'm going to talk about it. I just can't get over how I'm going to approach this. Okay. So let's talk about Sheena Easton. Call him up. Tell him we're talking. Call him up. Did I say get Sheena Easton? Yeah, get Sheena Easton on the phone. Get on the phone. Tell him we need to talk. It's what it is now. I don't mind. Call him up. We know Sheena Easton, right? If you don't know Sheena Easton, I don't know what to tell you. And if you are 23, then I would understand you're not knowing who Sheena Easton is. I'm here to tell you, you need to go do your homework very quickly, okay? Type in Sheena Easton, and I think it's safe to say, if you are of an African-American descent, get this album. That's all I'm going to tell you. That's why I'm calling her an R&B diva. Otherwise, Sheena Easton is a pop diva. So go ahead on if you love R&B music. If you like L.A. Reid and Babyface and A'ngela Winbush, go ahead on and get this album. Okay. It's a must-have. It is. You're going to love it. All right. I'm going to read a review, okay, that I came across that's going to sum up a whole lot of what I'm talking about here when we're talking about R&B divas, okay? I'm going to read you a review. People Magazine, December 5th, 1988. This is the review of the Lover in Me album, 1988. Anyone who likes to see Maseratis used to plow snow or filet mignon ground into hamburger may like this record, in which Easton does a convincing imitation of a fourth-rate R&B singer. Maybe she got turned around by her collaboration with Prince, in which during the You Got the Look video, she groveled around in a fashion that would have been humiliating to the most desperate starlet, let alone to a singer of Easton's stature and talent. Prince produced 2 of this album's 10 tracks, with little of the distinction he often shows on his own records. And the rest were done by such dance poppers as Babyface and Jellybean Benitez. Easton just blares away, fighting a losing battle against the rhythm backgrounds of the harder tracks and sounding nondescript on the ballads. Except Without You, where she sounds so much like Streisand, Barbra Streisand that is, it seems an outright imitation. That just accentuates the revolving developments of Easton's recent career. Wow. There's some problems in this review, okay? There's some problems, some serious problems with this review. We're talking about Sheena Easton. Sheena Easton, was it 1981? I could be wrong. I think it was 1981. It was the early 1980s, definitely. Sheena Easton is a Bond woman, okay? James Bond, 007, Bond, James Bond. And for me, when I say a Bond woman, that means that if you were, fortunate enough to be, sought after to sing the theme song, like Tina Turner's Golden Eye, Gladys Knight's License to, I'm going to say Eel, is the other word. Patti LaBelle has a song in the movie, her If You Ask Me To song. Phyllis Hyman was supposedly was to have a song in one of the James Bond's movies. So Sheena Easton, For Your Eyes Only, the movie, 1981, a huge hit for her. He's not calling her a fourth-rate R&B diva when it comes to that song. Do you understand what I'm saying? She's not looked at as a fourth-rate R&B diva. I'll take that back. A fourth-rate diva, period. Okay? That's number one. We're talking about the making of a diva. We're talking about Sheena Easton, who we know her for, what's the other songs? 9 to 5, not the Dolly Parton 9 to 5, but the 9 to 5 Morning Train song. We know her for the song, what is it? Is it Sugar Walls? Strut? That's what I know her from back in the day, okay? And I'm still laughing at this review, you guys, that I thought it was just really and totally disrespectful. like on so many levels. And here's why I think it was disrespectful, this review of this album. Not because I love R&B music and R&B divas. I think this guy, well, I'm not going to say guy. I don't know. It doesn't say who wrote the review. It just says it showed up in People magazine in December 1988. This review did. And I am thinking it had a lot to do with the fact it's R&B music. Then it has to do with Sheena Easton singing it. I think the fact that Sheena Easton, for whatever reason, took a detour, right? Because think about it. This review, to me, sums up probably what a lot of R&B divas have been saying about their career forever, right? And that is that they have not gotten the respect that they are supposed to get, you know, that they continue to demand, even if they're having hits on the R&B charts. But it shows with Sheena Easton's album that at this moment in time, it has a lot to do with R&B music, period. And so to me, this review is basically saying, you're a James Bond woman, like for your eyes only. Like, how dare you get to this level in your career? Pretty much right off the bat, almost. Well, not right off the bat, but get to this level in your career where you're doing the theme song to a James Bond movie. And you mean to tell me you're going to show up, all of us, you know, throughout your career, and you're going to show up and produce an R&B album? Like, have you lost your mind, lady? This, to me, is what this sounds like. Now, I know this is not disrespectful towards Sheena Easton, but I'm going to say it this way, only to make it make sense, but it's totally not disrespectful. You know, you guys know I intentionally try not to be disrespectful. That's not what I'm about, but I have to say it this way. If she's a fourth-rate R&B singer, you know where I'm going, don't you? You want to know where I'm going? If she's a fourth-rate R&B singer, and you're saying this about the R&B album, like, what are you saying? Let me be a little bit more open-minded. Are you saying you don't have the pipes of an R&B singer, so why even try? Is that what you're saying? Is the article saying she's coming up short, like in the R&B realm? Is that what you're saying? Or because, see, a person such as myself, I would say when you calling her a fourth-rate R&B singer, then you can I guess you're calling her a fourth-rate pop singer too. Because there's nothing about her that has changed but the music and the image. We're going to talk about it. I didn't tell y'all. I hope you're still sticking around with me for this one. Whoa, Lord, I tell you, I'm already making me tired. I'm told you, I'm trying to be good over here. Oh, gosh. But I want to know, did anyone ask her these questions during the interview for this album, the release of this album, during the promotion of this album? Did anyone ask you, like, Sheena, why R&B music? Okay, because she's on MCA Records at the time, right? Does that make sense? She's on MCA Records. She was assigned to EMI throughout her career. She goes over to MCA Records. But it's 1988. Do you know what's going on in 1988? And she makes her way over to MCA Records. I don't know. Did they put her in the black music division over at MCA Records when she shows up over there? Is that what they do? Do they look and say, like, who made this decision? That's why I'm asking Babyface, L.A. Reid, A'ngela Jelly Bean, like, listen, you guys get in here. You have to ask, you really and truly have to come in and talk to us about how this came together. Even Sheena, like when she showed up. Now, from my understanding, I could understand how, but no, because Babyface is not having those kinds of, but hold on. Let me reverse this. Now, I can see how she hooked up with A'ngela Winbush. I really can. Okay. Now, from my understanding, the way she hooked up with A'ngela Winbush was pretty much, if I understand correctly, she knew A'ngela through Renee Moore. You know, it's 1988. A'ngela Winbush just released her album in 1987, her Sharp album, right? She met Renee Moore, and from my understanding, you know, those two split up, you know, the duo split. A'ngela released her album in 1987. Renee Moore released his album in 1988. Now, from my understanding, when Sheena Easton was in the process of putting the album together on MCA Records, and when it was time for her, since because they was split, so chances are she was going to work with Renee and A'ngela if they were still a duo. Chances are she was still going to work with the two of them. But since they had split, and A'ngela put out her album, then Renee put out his album, you know, A'ngela was smoking hot. You know what I'm saying? She was, you know, understand what I'm saying? So it was more like, okay, well, I hear Angela's album, and I hear Renee's album. I think I want to work with A'ngela. And I think that's how it happened. It was like, I'm going to choose to work with A'ngela. You also have to keep in mind, too, that it was more than likely possible, too, that A'ngela had a lot of influence at the time to probably work with Sheena Easton as well, is because A'ngela has a production deal with MCA Records around this time. So like she's doing a lot of work, starting to work with a lot of people over at MCA Records. So she's already in, you see. So I can see that as well. Do you see? So there's another thing that makes sense with her working with Sheena Easton with the song Without You. A'ngela also went on to say, when she was doing the promotion of her Sharp album, that she really wanted to work with Barbra Streisand. She's been quoted as saying that. She wanted to work with Barbra Streisand. Who was the other person? I think she said Willie Nelson. Barbra Streisand, Willie Nelson. I do. So she was wanting to work with those caliber of singers, you know, and to think about it, like, really? A'ngela, Barbra Streisand, and Willie Nelson? But she did. So it makes sense. So when Sheena Easton, when this review is saying that the song Without You streams Streisand, it makes sense. Maybe Streisand, maybe she presented the song to Barbra Streisand. Barbara turned it down. It was like, okay, well, Sheena, maybe Barbara said no, maybe it never made it to Barbara. Maybe she was just like, well, okay, well, let me just give it to you. It's definitely Barbra Streisand. So I can understand that on A'ngela's part, how she got into it, you know, working with Sheena Easton. And if you also listen to, well, I'm just trying to make my way through all of this. Babyface is hot at this time. We know that, right? Babyface is hot. It's 1988. Karen White, Babyface. Babyface, y'all. L.A. Reid and Babyface. They're smoking hot. Right? Karen White. Pebbles. Smoking hot. Now, I don't know when and how long it took, but you would have to think somewhere or another he's working with Whitney Houston. They're in the process of probably getting ready to work with Whitney Houston at the time, as well as Pebbles. So it almost kind of makes sense with who they are working with, L.A. Reid and Babyface. Maybe they was like, well, let me just see and give it a try. Oh, I got another one. Oh, man, I'm good over here. Hold on. Y'all gonna probably laugh at this one. Paula Abdul, knocked out. Right? Knocked out. Yeah, Paula Abdul, knocked out. L.A. Reid and Babyface, 1988. So I can see, but who thought to turn her into an R&B diva? See, who thought? I can also see how she kind of worked with Prince. She had already previously worked with Prince, and so I guess it probably made sense when shoot, let's see what we can do. We had hits with "You Got the Look," so let's just keep it moving. But this review, of all the reviews, slammed it, and that's the point that I'm trying to make over here. It's like, you guys, what were you thinking? And the only thing I could think of with these producers I just named, L.A. Reid, Babyface, Jelly Bean Benitez, and A'ngela Winbush, is what I said about Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. I mean, we're doing what we do. We are the end theme. We are the hit singer, singer-songwriters and producers at the time. We are very much current and abreast to what's going on, in the music scene at the time. We are the hot producers. And it's just what it is. But MCA could have easily continued to reach out to those previous producers that she worked with to keep her in that pop appeal range without bringing her to the R&B, platform. But they do. But forgetting this guy. I don't know why I keep saying guy. It doesn't say who the name is. But forget all of that for a second. Let's talk about what we do know. Sheena Easton was smoking hot. You understand what I'm saying? Like, she did not, I don't care what the review said. When I heard that song and saw the video, I was like, okay, Sheena. Like, I'm thinking we convinced. I mean, the song is number what? It doesn't go to number one. It's a top 10 song for sure on the R&B charts. I don't think it goes to number one. I think it's probably number 4, number 5 on the R&B charts. I do think that. I don't think that it was, number 1 on the R&B charts, but it did do something, up there. You see what I'm saying? So, like I said, probably number 5 or number 4. Then the song also shows up high on the pop charts. On the U.S. Billboard Hot 100, the single made its way to number 2. I'm just saying. It made its way to number 2. So it's a number 2 pop hit, a number 5 R&B hit. So we're convinced, both audiences, urban and pop. The urban audience is the pop audience is like, we like what we see too, Sheena. We like that. We like it. The urban audience is like, we like it too. You done convinced both sides that we like what you have going on, and you have definitely changed your sound, and you have hipped yourself up, so to speak. You hip right now. You're in, and you are fitting in this category of singers. Pebbles and Vesta and Sheena Easton and Natalie Cole, right? At the time, A'ngela Winbush. You see what I'm saying? You're fitting in Karen White, Stephanie Mills. You're finding yourself in this category of R&B divas. And you're making it look good. I think that's what we need to understand one more time, is that she fits in it like a hand in a glove. Looks great. She's no slouch. She really isn't. I mean, the album is it's smoking. It's a great album. Do you understand what I'm saying? The making of an R&B diva. The making of an R&B diva. And so what? She did not relive, after that single, the hype of a second single. But by that time, who cared? When you have a number 2 pop hit and a number 5 R&B hit, that one song, I'm sure that album made that song, that single made the album go gold. It was a no-brainer. In days like this, I like days like this. I don't think that single made its way on the pop charts. But by then, it really and truly didn't matter. By that time, I'm sure the album was already gold. It's like, probably already gold. The making of an R&B diva. Oh, we could talk so much about this one. We could talk so much about this one. Like, let's just say, all right, Sheena. And I don't think, and here's the thing, I don't think Sheena was trying to, she was just being herself. I don't think that they were trying to make her an R&B diva, but they were definitely giving her that R&B sound. And just like I was saying about Sherelle's career, when Sherelle changed her sound over, right? You know, from the Jimmy Jam to Terry Lewis, and then she started to work with Narada Michael Walden on her 4th album, The Woman I Am. When she went over and she did that, isn't it interesting how some things hit and other things don't? Do you have the backing of the record company? Like what? It's like I said, it's so weird that it could work for one and not the other. Is it the team? Or is it the song? Could it have been, and I'm talking about Sherelle, and I shouldn't have started bringing her back up. But I guess the question should be, instead of working with someone such as Narada Michael Walden, what she should have probably done, like, who can still help me identify with the audience that I have now, instead of trying to expand my sound, change my sound. I need to be able to capture and keep the fans I have, and then bring in a broader audience. Because it looks like that's definitely what happened with Sheena Easton with MCA. When they finally, partnered up together. I'm sure someone basically said, how do we do this? Think about it with A'ngela, so to speak. When A'ngela comes in with a song like Without You, and the reviewer obviously is like, this is Streisand. So even A'ngela was like, okay, I got Fire and Rain. That's that R&B feel, right? That's that R&B feel. You know, you got that soulful sound. But I need this next song I'm going to work with you on. I need to make sure that I can capture your pop audience as well. Because notice what the reviewer said when it came to, he pretty much dragged the whole entire album. Really, he dragged the whole entire album until he got to Streisand, till he got to the song Without You. And what did the reviewer say? It wasn't the fact that it wasn't a good song. I got to go back. Is that what the reviewer said? The reviewer didn't say the song was bad. The reviewer said, let me go back. Easton just blares away, fighting a losing battle against the rhythm backgrounds of the harder tracks and sounding nondescript on the ballads. Nondescript on the ballads, except Without You, where she sounds so much like Streisand, and that's a compliment. Because I need to do a one on Streisand myself, Barbra Streisand. I'm here to tell you why. I came across her singing with one of the Bee Gees, and I heard her sing. I was like, Barbra Streisand sounds. This is how Barbra Streisand sounds. Like Barbra Streisand sounds good. I mean, Barbra Streisand can sing, you know. But anyway. Where she sounds so much like Streisand, it seems an outright imitation. Imitation is the highest form of flattery. That just accentuates the reviving developments of Easton's recent career. So basically what he's saying is it's just reviving. It's a revolving door, right? Like, who are you trying to be, woman? But didn't say the song was bad. That's where I'm going with you guys. It's not what the reviewer said. It's interesting. You know what? I remember, as I said, I remember the song, I remember the video, I remember all of that. But here's the thing. I guess I want to ask myself. I don't recall anyone saying Sheena Easton was trying to be black, or that she was trying to be an R&B diva. See, that's the question I want to ask. See, the question I would ask would be, Sheena, you know, your album, The Lover in Me, it was very urban, you know. It gave you, you know, a pop hit. You also got an R&B hit out of it as well. But were you trying to be an R&B diva? Like, what was the, you know, overall, you know, process for putting together that album? What was the goal? Do you feel like you alienated your audience? And do you feel as if, you know, you got backlash from the urban, the black community? It worked. That's all I'm trying to say. I don't forget the review. When I came across the review, again, I'm saying it was kind of like how people feel about R&B music. Like, you gonna come and sing this? You got R&B divas trying to get over to where you are, and you trying to come down to where they are. I know. But thank you. As again, I say that album was hard. That album was hot. My favorite song on the album would be The Lover in Me, Days Like This, Fire and Rain, Without You would definitely be the songs that I play over and over again. I don't really care too much for the Prince songs on that album. Prince, when he's working with other artists, unfortunately to me, sometimes it can be a hit or a miss. And he's giving me more misses than he have hits with, other artists. I understand. I know somebody now is probably about to go down the whole list of all the other singers, songs that he done wrote and they done made hits. I'm just saying, yeah, yeah. I understand. But anyway, tell me what you think. Go check out the Lover and Me album, Sheena Easton. And at this moment in time, I'm going to call her an R&B diva. I am. For this album, she definitely falls in that category. I think, again, she represented that album well. The image, everything was on point. I don't, and here is what I like most about it. I think the thing that really worked for her, it was that the image that some of the R&B divas was having at the time, the image went well. Went well. Okay, I'll give you a prime example. Here's an example. Oh gosh, I'm gonna give you an example so you guys can go like, oh, I see what he's saying. Look at this. No, let me see. I got to get another picture. This one maybe. Okay. You see this red dress she has on, and you see this red dress A'ngela wearing? You see it, don't you? So that gives you an idea of what R&B divas were looking like at the time. You see that? You see this look that R&B divas was having at the time? Look at Karen White's hair. Look at that dress she has on. You see that look? Look at Natalie Cole with her CD. You see that look? That's what I'm saying. She represented the R&B diva at the time. You can't deny it. I mean, anybody who wants to go in and say something totally different, I'll be like, okay, well, that's how you guys feel. But I done showed you a couple of images enough to let you know that Sheena Easton did a darn good job, and she did not look bad at all doing it. It's unfortunate, you guys. I just don't know. I don't know. This, like I said, it's mind-boggling at this moment in time. Tell me what you think. Go listen to the album. You're gonna enjoy it. Oh gosh, you're gonna enjoy it. L.A. Reid, Babyface, Jelly Bean, A'ngela, y'all hooked that sister up. You guys did that. You got some hits out of it, and you got gold plaques. You got some gold plaques, off this. And I'm sure at the end of the day, Sheena Easton was okay, with it. I'm sure. Yeah, awesome. Well, I think this is where I'm going to end my commentary. I guess I didn't go. I guess I didn't talk about it the way I thought I was going to talk about it. See, I never know. I never know what I'm going to say. I just don't know. If you made it this far in my commentary, then it's safe to say, hit the subscribe button, right? Hit the subscribe button. Hang out with me. Right now, it looks like this is where we are for a moment. We're talking about R&B divas. That's right. And some pop divas who release some R&B albums. Hey, it is what it is. Right? And also, over here, I believe in putting your behind where your heart desires to be. And whenever I leave my mother's presence, she always says to me, she says, baby, remember, I love you, but God loves you best. I love you out there. I hope you feel the love. I hope I'm receiving the love back, right? All right, then. Don't forget to love yourself in the process. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next video. Oh, my gosh. Having so much fun talking to you guys. I look forward to seeing you next video. Until then, you know what to do by now. Take care of yourself.